Hello and welcome. My name is Matthew Dixon. I'm excited to share my doctoral capstone poster titled Development of an Occupational Therapy-Led MTSS Model in Kindergarten, a planned 9-week feasibility plot. This capstone was a program development project focused on school-based occupational therapy. The goal was to create a practical model for helping kindergarten students earlier, before concerns became severe enough to require a formal OT referral. This project is important because kindergarten students participate in many classroom occupations that depend on fine motor, visual motor, handwriting readiness skills. They include skills like coloring, writing, cutting, drawing, copying. For many young students, these tasks are not just academic, they are part of how they participate. It's how they build confidence, they complete routines, and engage in the classroom. In traditional school-based OT practice, support often begins after a referral is made. This model is necessary, but also can delay support for students with emerging needs. This project explored how occupational therapy can be used more preventatively through classroom-based supports, teacher collaboration, screenings, and data-informed decision-making. The purpose of this capstone was to develop an OT-led model for kindergarten students and prepare procedures for evaluating its feasibility, its impact on classroom participation, and its usefulness for referral decision making. My PICO question was, for kindergarten students in general education classrooms, how does participating in a 9-week OT-led model with universal screenings, early tiered supports, functional performance, and OT referral decision making? Here's what the literature review says. First, handwriting and tool use required the integration of multiple skills, including fine motor control, visual motor integration, visual perception, cognition, and attention. This reinforced that handwriting is not just a motor task, it is a meaningful school occupation connected to participation. Second, research suggests that kindergarten skills, such as visual motor integration, spatial skills, manual dexterity, and attention, can help predict later handwriting performance. This supports the use of early screening and observation. Third, classroom-based handwriting interventions can improve legibility and may also support early reading skills. This supports the idea that OT can contribute to the classroom, not as just a pull-out service. Finally, the literature on school-based OT shows that occupational therapy practitioners can support teachers through collaboration, capacity building, documentation, and structured intervention. However, the literature also identifies a need for clearer OT roles and more practical procedures for how this should happen in schools. This is also backed up by my own experience. For the capstone project description, this project really is where I developed a planned OT-led pilot for kindergarten classrooms. The model includes universal screenings using the Beery VMI, teacher input, classroom observation, ongoing collaboration, and supports across all 3 levels of need. If you look at the diagram in the middle, you'll see Tier 1, Tier 2, 3. This is the MTS model. This is what's already being used in schools for academic concerns. We're just putting that OT lens on top of that. So at level 1, the universal level, the focus is on supporting the whole classroom. This may include teacher consultation, classroom routines, environmental supports, and activities that promote fine motor and handwriting readiness for all students. At the targeted level, students who need additional support may receive small group interventions. This allows the OT to address emerging concerns while still keeping the support connected to classroom participation. At the most individualized level, the focus becomes problem solving, closer monitoring, and referral considerations. This helps the team decide whether a student may need more intensive support or a formal OT evaluation. So as the student moves up through these tiers, the emphasis is not about labeling them or identifying them. It's about increasing their level of support to be a good fit for them. This whole project was guided by two theoretical frameworks. The first is MOHO. Um, this one helped me frame handwriting and tool use in classroom tasks as part of participation. It helped me consider student motivation, routines, performance capacity, and the environment. The other one that I use is the acquisitional frame of reference. This one supported the intervention designs because it focuses on skill development through practice, repetition, feedback, reinforcement, and grading of activities. Together, these frameworks help keep the project focused and balanced on both participation and skill development. I did not want the model to focus only on hand skills. I wanted it to stay connected to what students actually need to do in the classroom, that participation. The program development process kind of includes four major steps. The first one is the needs assessment. What are the needs? This is where I identified kindergarten, fine motor, visual motor, and handwriting readiness needs. The second step was program design. This is where I developed the OT-led structure and decided how support would be organized across different levels of student need, following the guidelines of the MTSS model. The third was material development. This is where I created tools for screening, teacher collaboration, intervention, planning, documentation, and progress monitoring. I tried to make all these as duplicatable as possible so that if someone else wanted to follow this exact procedure, they could. The fourth step was evaluating and planning. Was evaluation planning. This is where I developed ways to assess feasibility, student performance, classroom participation, response to intervention, and referral decision making. I think this is the most important one because while this is, in theory, a really good program, the ultimate question is it feasible? Can it be done in that setting? Will teachers accept it? Will therapists be able to follow it? That feasibility side. And so I put a lot of time into that. One of the most important things I learned is that prevention requires planning. It's easy to say that school-based OT should be more preventative, but this project helped me see that prevention needs a process. It needs screening, decision-making rules, intervention options, and follow-up. Without those pieces, early support can remain just a good idea and not become practical practice. I also learned that occupational therapy's roles in school can be broader than responding to referrals. OT practitioners have valuable expertise in participation, routines, environments, task demands, skill development. This project helped me see how these expertise can be organized in a way that supports teachers and reaches students earlier. In conclusion, this capstone developed a structured OT-led approach for supporting kindergarten students before formal OT referral is needed. The planned pilot provides a process for screening, teacher collaboration, classroom-based supports, progress monitoring, and data-informed referral decisions, in addition to that feasibility. Overall, I'm very proud of this project because it connects occupational therapy's focus on participation with a practical school-wide framework. The central takeaway is that school-based OT can move beyond a purely referral-based model and contribute earlier through prevention, collaboration, and structured support. Thank you for viewing my capstone poster presentation.